Good day, everyone. I'm Marie Margaret Ray, a Level 1 nursing student from Chinese General Hospital Colleges. And for today's presentation for Anatomy and Physiology lecture, I will be discussing the physiology of circulation. So the key concepts for today's presentation are the following: the pulmonary circulation, the systemic circulation, the right and the left side of the heart, and the cardiac blood flow. The pulmonary circulation and the systemic circulation are functionally separated. Starting off with the pulmonary circulation, which principal role is to exchange gases across the alveolar membrane, supplying oxygenated blood to the rest of the body while also removing carbon dioxide from the circulation. In short, pulmonary circulation is limited to the heart and to the lungs. On the other hand, the pumping of oxygenated blood from the heart to the body and the return of the deoxygenated blood to the heart is referred to as the systemic circulation. The heart and the whole body are connected through this circulation. So now for the right and the left side of the heart. The right side of the heart's job is to transport the deoxygenated blood from the body to the lungs where it can be oxygenated. The parts of the heart that are associated with the said function are the following: SVC, IVC, right atrium, tricuspid valve, right ventricle, pulmonary valve, and the pulmonary artery. So the left side of the heart's primary function now is to pump oxygenated blood from the lungs to the rest of the body, allowing tissues and organs to be perfused. The parts of the heart that are associated with the said function are the following: the pulmonary veins, the left atrium, the mitral valve, the left ventricle, the aortic valve, and the aorta. And now for the cardiac blood flow, starting off with the right side of the heart. The superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava are the primary blood arteries that transport the oxygenated blood from the rest of the body to the right atrium of the heart. The superior vena cava is a vein that runs from the upper body to the right atrium, which carries the oxygenated blood, while the inferior vena cava is placed inferiorly that transports the oxygenated blood from the lower body to the right atrium. And next, the deoxygenated blood from the right atrium will now travel to the right ventricle during diastole. Diastole is when the heart is relaxed and when it is filling up with the blood. The blood passes through the tricuspid valve, which is situated right between the right atrium and the right ventricle. And then, the deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle is pumped forward to the major pulmonary artery during the systole. Systole is when the heart, particularly the ventricles, is contracting. So the deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle passes through the pulmonary valve, which is placed between the right ventricle and the pulmonary artery. So the main pulmonary artery's job is to transport the oxygenated blood from the right side of the heart to the lungs where it will be oxygenated. So the right and the left pulmonary arteries branch off from the main pulmonary artery, which we can see in this part of the picture. This is the right pulmonary artery, and this is the left pulmonary artery. So now, we need to be able to pump the oxygenated blood to the rest of the body, which now leads us to the left side of the heart. Now, the pulmonary veins transport the oxygenated blood from the lungs to the left atrium of the heart. The oxygenated blood from the left atrium will now flow to the left ventricle during the diastole. The blood passes through the mitral valve, which is situated between the left atrium and the left ventricle. So during systole, oxygenated blood from the left ventricle is pushed forward to the aorta. The oxygenated blood passed through the aortic valve, which is placed between the aorta and the left ventricle. Now, the aorta's purpose is to transport the oxygenated blood from the left side of the heart to the remainder of the body. And now for the summary of the physiology of circulation, let us remember that the right side of the heart's task is to transport the deoxygenated blood from the body to the lungs where it can be oxygenated. On the other hand, the left side of the heart is responsible for transporting oxygenated blood from the lungs to the rest of the body. Attached in the slide are the references used for this presentation. Thank you and may God bless us all.